Hey guys, it's Dennis here with Revog Games. I'm joined by
Joshua Weyers, all the way in South Africa.
yes, and it's the Revog Games podcast. We've been gone for a little while, but we're back, and
Mm,
there's a lot of news to cover. Before it was like
there is,
there
yeah.
wasn't that much stuff, and then now it's like there was so much stuff, but we're gonna cover that. So there's probably gonna be a longer episode than usual. How you doing, Josh?
Yeah, I had to take a mental health break, so I apologize to everyone, but we're back now. So it was good. I'm better than ever, and I'm ready to talk about games.
Cool. You're feeling good?
Yeah, I'm feeling great, man.
Nice, nice. All right. Well, let's start off with HBO's The Last of Us, which is obviously
hmm
based on the Naughty Dog game. It's been renewed for a
It's
season.
based on a game? I
Oh
had no
no.
idea, Dennis.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
some people don't.
I thought it was a
Uh,
book, man.
um,
Oh,
got renewed for season 2. Not a big
oh,
surprise
yeah. Oh, yeah.
because the viewership just keeps going up and up. Like from that's how you know. I mean, like I mentioned a million times before, that's how Game of
22
Thrones.
million viewers. Holy crap. I just saw that now.
Yeah. So that's how Game of Thrones started. Game of Thrones actually started smaller than The Last of Us,
Oh, yeah.
and then it grew huge. But um, so yeah, it's always a good sign when you're gaining viewership because most television shows actually lose viewership after the premiere. Um, but it got renewed. Not a big surprise. It's already on episode 4 just aired a few days ago, and episode 5 is actually going to air early because the Super Bowl is coming out is going to be usually at the time that The Last of Us comes out. So they're actually going to release it early. I think if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be like 2 days early or something like that. Let me double check, but it's not going to be at first when they said early. I thought it was going to be like, okay, they're going to release earlier in the day so people can watch it.
Is it because it was going to be during the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Or
'Cause
like on the day? Okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
So Super Bowl
you
is
can't
this
release
coming
it.
Sunday. I know like people outside of the U.S. don't really care, but in the U.S. it's a big deal, and so they didn't want to. Um,
Hey, for the people that don't care, definitely check out the halftime show on YouTube afterwards. The halftime show, it's always good. I always like the halftime. I don't know a thing about football, Dennis, but
mhm.
I love the halftime show.
People watch the commercials because a lot of movie trailers come out during
A
that
lot of big
time.
commercials,
Yeah.
yeah.
I used to watch a lot of football, not so much anymore, just because I watch so much like MMA stuff. It's like hard to keep up. I used to watch football and hockey and
Mm.
everything. So let's see. It's gonna come early Friday. So
Oh,
it's coming
yeah,
out
nice.
Friday, so they don't have to compete, which is good. It's a good time, Friday night, and then you have the whole weekend to watch before the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Um,
everyone you can put it on a second monitor and play some Hogwarts at the same time. Why
yeah,
not?
yeah. So I know. Well, following this, also this renewal is something that I've been saying, and I'm sure you had agreed with me as well.
hmm
They said that you know season 1 of The Last of Us was the first game, right? And I've been
Yeah.
saying this whole time there's no way their season 2 is going to be the whole second game because the second game is much larger narratively than the first game. The first game was much more straightforward. Even
Yeah.
still, I thought it would be longer than one season. I thought it would be at least two
I
seasons.
thought, yeah, I thought they do like part one and part two of part one, like part one, and part one, part two. But
Well,
yeah, that's
remember
what I figured they would have done.
it's only 9 episodes, and then you're talking about
Mm,
the DLC episode, or there's going to be one episode that's going to be just the Left Behind
the
DLC.
DLC,
So
yeah.
that's like taking a whole episode out, and then you haven't seen it because Josh hasn't watched episodes 2, 3, and 4 yet, and
Yeah, I'm still on episode one.
episode 3 is I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's a
Dennis, I played the game. You can tell me.
okay.
It's not like I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything. Anyways,
Unless it's vastly different, then yeah.
it's not vastly different, but it's different enough. Anyways, they go deeper.
Okay.
That's all. All I'll say is they go
Okay.
deeper, and so they expand on a storyline that you don't get to see in the game. So therefore, that's a whole other episode that's not in the game. So if you're talking about 9 episodes, now there's 2 episodes we're thinking that are like not in the game we're talking about the original base
Okay.
game. So that's 7 episodes. So
Yeah.
you're covering the first season in 7 episodes. That's not a lot of time. They're gonna do it anyways. But they revealed that season 2 is not going to be the whole of Last of Part 2, and I've been saying that for the longest time. I was like, there's no way they're packing that. They're going to split that up into at least 2 seasons, and that's what they kind of revealed. Like,
Yeah.
there's that season 2 of The Last of Us is not going to
It
be
makes
the whole.
sense.
Yeah,
It makes sense that they can go deeper, like in terms of how you said there's like 2 episodes that aren't from the game, because of Neil Druckmann being attached to this.
yeah.
Like you actually have access to the lore, and you
Mm-hmm.
can dive deeper into the lore. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense then. Actually, that's pretty cool. I like that. So it's a little extra for the people who played the games as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
That's pretty
after you
cool. Yeah.
watch it, I think we should do after you catch up. We'll do like a spoiler-filled kind of review of the first few episodes and
Yeah, I'm
get our
down.
reactions from that. So in kind of sad news for The Last of Us, Annie
Oh
Wershing,
yeah.
I don't know how to if that's how you pronounce her name, who played the original Tess in the game. She passed away at age 45. It's kind of sad. She was diagnosed with cancer in 2020. She had appeared in Star Trek Picard, I think, as the Borg Queen, and the
Oh
show The
yeah.
Rookie. Yeah, it's kind of
Man.
sad that it was gonna be sad anyways that she passed away, but she passed away kind of after Tess's kind of big episode
Oof.
in
Well, at least then
HBO
hopefully she
series.
got to see it. You know.
I mean, who knows? I don't know what kind of state she was in at that
Of the
time.
situation. Yeah.
Yeah. So
She
it's
was
kind
good.
of
I liked Star Trek Picard as well. That was a good series.
yeah. So yeah, that was a very unfortunate news that we heard recently.
Yeah.
Um,
Annie Wershing. That's
yeah.
that's unfortunate.
Moving to Sony Naughty Dog related news, they said that Uncharted, there's still so much potential with the series, and that they were gonna move on from it.
I kind of got the feeling that from their last game, I kind of got the feeling that that was it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, to be honest, like or just like the way, like the hype died down, if you will. Like
Mm-hmm.
the movie was okay. It wasn't the best, maybe. I thought it was fun. You know what I mean? Though some shots didn't make sense physics wise, but hey, who cares? Um, Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel that way too. I do think that this genre's done. I think they can bring it back at some point. You know, like they say, it does have a
Mm-hmm.
lot of potential.
I'm wondering if maybe.
Maybe even like a reboot in the future or something. You know?
Well, I'm also wondering, are they saying Naughty Dog is done, but maybe Sony's not done? Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, that's true.
I'm
Yeah.
wondering if there'll be some sort of, like you mentioned, a rebooted stories or a side mission or a spin-off, and
Mm,
maybe it'll be someone else developing it and
yeah.
not Naughty
I do
Dog.
think like Nathan Drake. I think I'm kind of done with his story, and I think a lot of people are. Like, if they were gonna
Mm-hmm.
do another Uncharted, I'd like a new character, a
Mm-hmm.
new guy. You know what I mean? That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm. So all right, let's move on to other big news because we have so much stuff to go through.
Oh yeah.
The big release coming out this week is Hogwarts Legacy. It's coming out this Friday, February 10th. Reviews kind of hit, I think, was it this morning? This morning the
Yeah. Oh,
reviews
yes.
hit.
Yeah,
May-
technically yesterday. Yesterday, a lot of
Yesterday?
well, about 14 hours ago. Technically, that's when
Yeah.
the first review I saw. So
So, and it's getting
technically
very
today, yesterday.
positive
Yeah.
reviews. I think IGN gave it a 9, and everyone else that I've seen has given it really good reviews, basically saying, look, this is the open world Harry Potter, even though it's not Harry Potter, but the Harry Potter
Mm.
universe, the Wizarding World. I'm not a book reader. I just watched the movie, so my knowledge. I'm what you call like a casual Harry Potter fan. So I'm not too familiar with all the stuff. But anyways, it's the best Harry Potter universe type of game,
Yeah.
and that
I
it's
I I have heard that it's like like obviously the reviews are great, but I have heard as well it's because a lot of people are expecting to the school life portion of it as well, and
yeah.
there's not like much like that kind of goes on. It's not like there's an old game called Bully, and if you ever played it,
Yeah.
where you actually have to go to class It's like the GTA sit in school at a boarding school. You need to actually go to the classes and do the classes. From what I've been hearing, there's not really much of that.
No,
But like
there's
you
like you
still
go
get
to
to like
class.
feel.
I think
Yeah.
classes are like a set incident or set storyline when you go to class, right?
Yeah,
Not
you
like
get like
actually going to class.
cutscenes and stuff.
Yeah,
But yeah, but people have said that it's like it captures the atmosphere. Like you do feel like a student, even though you're not doing all the student related things. But
yeah,
I don't know,
Uh,
man. It's looking really good. I
it,
got I got early access. I could
yeah,
technically play it right now, but my power's gonna get cut in like an hour, and I
yeah,
don't want to get like into it. And then, oh no, I'm gonna play it tomorrow. I'm gonna
yeah.
record some first impressions for
Yeah,
us.
put it up because I'm not gonna be able to play it till Friday, and then maybe we'll
Yeah.
do a like a first impressions review or something like that
Mm.
next week. But yeah, looks good. It's a game that the style is what I like, which is like character creation with weapons, items, costume upgrades and changes and also exploration. That's a big thing that I love. So exploring kind of the whole school and the grounds and everything like that.
Yeah. There is one thing I will say I don't like about the game. I haven't played it yet. I just know I'm not gonna enjoy it because they said it's a mechanic, which is that the broom is technically your fastest form of transport. So like you get all these other cool mounts and like
Hmm.
mythical beasts, if you will, but the broom's still going to be the fastest. Like what's the point of getting a cool mount if it's not faster than the broom? You know what I mean? Like if at some point in time I'm riding a dragon or something, I want that thing to be faster than a broom. You know?
Yeah.
But I guess yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's maybe I took it wrong. Maybe it's more like the broom is upgradable or something, I suppose, or maybe that's why it gets to. Oh, it has the boost. That's it. The broom comes with a boost, and the
Hmm.
other things don't. The other mounts and stuff don't.
Yeah. People said that they weren't sure if they were gonna like the combat, but the combat is actually pretty cool and varied
Mm.
and a lot more addictive than they originally thought. And they said it's a good RPG, action adventure RPG with a lot of cool elements. Now, there's kind of this elephant in the room that I do want to talk about is there's a lot of boycotting of the game based on
Oh, of course,
JK
yeah.
JK
J.K.
Rowling,
Rowling.
even though obviously she's not a game developer and she's not like programmed the game, but obviously she created the Harry Potter universe, and I'm sure that
Yeah.
some money or royalties from this game
Oh, of
are
course,
are
yeah.
going to her. And some people have
Yeah.
chose not to support that, and I think that's fine. I think that's fine
Yeah.
if you choose not to support it, and I don't even mind people telling other people, hey, you shouldn't support this because of these reasons, and if you agree and you choose not to, I think that's fine. I think some of the parts that are getting kind of too crazy is the people that are like trying to shame other people for basically
For
saying
playing
like,
it, yeah.
well, it's basically saying if you buy or play the game, then you're like a transphobe, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like like I don't know. I'm just kind of the point where it's like it's okay if you want to boycott, but like telling other people, look, a lot of these people that are like shouting all this stuff too, like tweeting out this stuff, tweeting on their iPhones, their Apple iPhones, like the Apple iPhones and other phones as well, they're like created with slave labor. There's people that
Literally, yeah.
there's like people in
I like
China
there's a
killing
clause. There's literally a
themselves at
clause.
factories.
At one of the factories, there's literally a clause that says you are not allowed to commit suicide.
Hmm.
Like they have nets in their
Yeah,
factories so that people can't jump out of their windows. How heavy is that? Like
yeah,
I don't
that's
know if it was Samsung or if it was iPhone, but one of their like labor factories were that intense. It's insane. So I agree. There's a certain level of hypocrisy there. If you
yeah,
want to boycott the game, that's your own freedom to do that.
that's fine.
At the end
Yeah.
of the day, she's like J.K. Rowling is going to get royalties to some form.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, from what I know, she has had zero involvement with this game in the lore. That's the whole reason they set the game in the 1800s so they can
Hmm.
do their own thing. Like she wasn't a part of the storytelling. She wasn't a part of the lore building and the world building. Hundreds of people worked on this game. You know what I mean? It does suck that she's going to be getting money from this,
But
but
she's already
like
rich. That's the thing. It doesn't affect her. It's like
it
usually
doesn't change her.
yeah,
Yeah.
when you usually affect someone or whatever, it's like you're trying to hurt their bottom line, it's not really going to affect her.
If you guys want to hurt her, just deplatform her. Like, try like cancel her over and over again. But she's not gonna lose the millions that she already has. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate. I don't agree with the thing that she says. I hate it. I hated pretty much all of her tweets that are like that were like the bad tweets. They were outlandish. Like there was like no way of reading those things and like seeing any good in it. It was disgusting, the stuff that she said. So I hate her for that. You know what I mean? But this is a good game, and I'm gonna play it. Like, it's like you said. Either way, she's a millionaire. Multi-millionaire.
more
probably,
like
you know?
hundreds of millions.
Yeah. So it's not gonna affect. She probably doesn't even know she's getting royalties from this. You know what I mean?
I mean, she knows, but she's like,
Yeah, but
she's not gonna sweat if she does or doesn't.
yeah. It's a
get
droplet
royalties.
in the water, probably. Yeah. Anyways, if you guys want to boycott the game, boycott it. But I'm gonna play it.
And people are going to super extremes. People are like, not only boycotting it, they're telling other people to boycott Twitch streamers that decide to play the game or stream the game. They even had like there was some guy created a website that like you could like type in a tweet like or whatever a name and see if like that person was like streaming Harry Potter
the game. Well, because there's a whole like the way Twitch works is you can click on games as genres, and you click on the game and it shows you all the people streaming it. So that makes sense.
To me, that's too extreme.
Yeah. This might be a little out of place right now, but I feel like Twitch is within the gaming verse. So I'm going to tell a quick story about some weird things that happened there. So I don't know if you know this, but one of the biggest channels that blew up on Twitch recently was an AI created Seinfeld show. So it's just Seinfeld that's constantly running, that's written by AI, and it's been getting better and better and better. So recently it got the Twitch channel got permabanned, because at least this is what the developers of the AI said. In order to keep the thing constantly running 24/7, they had to switch from DaVinci 3 point something to some other program that they use, some other AI that they use, and their moderation tools didn't work on that new one. So the jokes that were coming out of Jerry Seinfeld's mouth were pretty bad, like a lot of transphobic stuff. So permabanned like that. But it was just wild to watch that AI grow. Like, kind of scary, you know what I mean? Like when it was one of the most watched things for a while on Twitch was just this AI like being generated live, and it wasn't like, it was like almost like Nintendo 64 graphics. Like that's what the people looked like, you know what I mean? That was a crazy story, man. I had to tell that real quick.
Yeah. So just in general, look, I'm gonna buy the game. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna talk about it. If you choose not to, that's totally fine. That's well within your rights. I don't believe in this going around saying if you play this game, then and I understand people who don't want to play it if they feel that strong, and like if some person said a bunch of racist stuff and maybe I don't want to watch their movie, you know what I mean? You can choose to do that. You can and you can choose to encourage other people to do it as well. I don't have a problem with that, and I just don't know if you should start getting into that territory where it becomes very toxic, where it's like, okay, everyone who's watches this thing or plays this thing, you're
look, this
you're
might
a
be
terrible,
pandering.
horrible person.
Yeah, like what I'm about to say might be pandering. I'm not too sure. I'm not like, I hope it's not pandering, but there's no gender choice in the character creation, so it's very inclusive. You can create your own person, like non-binary, binary, any of your choices, you know what I mean? So at least they're inclusive on that.
There's a trans character, if I'm not mistaken, as well.
Yeah. So they are being really inclusive,
game.
and I appreciate that. I know it doesn't make up for J.K. Rowling what she said, but at least that has the inclusivity, which is a nice touch, I think.
All right, so moving on from Harry Potter, I'm sure we'll be talking about more on that. I'm sure probably the comment section, is going to be filled up with.
I'll be there to reply, guys. Don't worry. We can talk about it. We'll find common ground. That's what life's about.
We had. Oh no! We have so much to cover that I thought we had already talked.
Dude,
I thought we already talked about this,
man.
but no, we haven't yet. So another big news story was Star Wars Jedi Survivor was delayed. It was supposed to come out this month. Got delayed 6 weeks. It's coming on April 28th, which to me, with Hogwarts Legacy coming out, and I still have other games I still haven't finished yet. to me, this isn't that big a deal. Maybe for other people, not that I'm not looking forward to. It's one of my most anticipated games of the year, but just give me some breathing room, man. Give me some breathing room because there's a lot of games coming out in February. So this getting pushed back to April.
Yeah, I'm happy with that too. I got a different train of thought though. It's like 6 weeks. I mean, maybe it's just because I'm getting older, man. Like, God, I'm actually like 10 days away from turning 30.
You're
but
so young, so young.
I know I'm still young, but the thing is, like, the older you get, like, time just moves so much faster, dude. Like 6 weeks feels like nothing to me. You know what I mean?
Wait till you get to my
I'm sure
age.
you agree. Dude,
Yeah.
I know. Like, I was talking, like, this is off topic. I was talking to my dad about it, who's 71, and he says, like, a decade just goes like the blink of an eye when you're that age. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways,
All right.
so, yeah, 6 weeks, I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think there's any other big things coming out in March, right?
Can't.
Well,
When
April,
does
sorry, April, my bad.
When does I forgot the new name of it, but I want to say Breath of the Wild sequel. It's called what Tears of the Kingdom. When's that coming out?
I don't
April,
know.
May?
It's usually most Japanese games, like I said, will come out February. I know there's not much coming out now because they have Golden Week in February, so there's always sales around that. Let me take a look at that. Oh, like, let's see here. It is May. May, yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, so it's about a month apart. If I have my months right.
But yeah, they also released 9 minutes of gameplay. If you go to IGN, you can watch it. Looks good. You know, you're not seeing anything new. You know, like super new compared to the last game. It looks and it's not what I'm not expecting them to reinvent the wheel. I'm expecting, you know, the first game with new environments and some cool new skills and a new storyline and everything, but I'm not expecting it to be vastly different. And it doesn't look vastly different. Looks cool.
It's like God of War. You want the same thing but just with variations, you know what I mean? Like if the formula works, don't change it, you know?
Yeah.
I agree. All I really want is a continuation of the story, which we're getting, and a better skill tree, which I'm assuming we're getting. Or like a bigger skill tree, because the skill tree was pretty small in the first game.
Yeah.
I actually played it again recently, and it's I know I called it a Souls-like game, and it actually is. Like, I looked at it again, and it is very similar. I mean, look, it's much easier compared to most Dark Souls games, but the mechanics are so similar. I forgot about that. Like the way you parry, the way you can dodge, and then also every time you get a save point, it all resets all the people. That's like very Souls-like as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this game. I don't want them to do much changes, you know, except for the love of God, get rid of the ponchos. Don't give me like 30 freaking. Don't make me go on this elaborate freaking platforming mission to go unlock another fucking poncho, dude. Yeah. I was so upset that every single cosmetic was a poncho with just different patterns on it. Oh man, I was so
yeah,
upset.
I do hope that gets fixed, and I hope it not in this version or not this one, but I do hope maybe in the third one, if they make a third one, that they maybe try and do open world like how with Elden Ring, how From Software opened up to open world. I wouldn't mind having an open world Jedi Survivor, Jedi Fallen Order. It would only be on
one planet then, you know. It would only be one planet, but that still could be
not necessarily. Well, you know? You can do that kind of like the way that Starfield and Outer Worlds, yeah, where it's
big open world levels.
It's open world, but it's not like, you know,
because Fallen Order had some pretty big open world levels, but it was very linear. So
it's very linear.
Nicer to see them go. It would be nicer to see them be non-linear. So there's exploration. You can go to places that. Yeah, no, I agree. I'd like that. But I'm liking the game so far. You know what I mean? Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just give me some more abilities, and then you know. Maybe play around with the dark side a little, huh? Yeah. You know, maybe a little bit of that. That'd be fun too.
What's funny about these kind of continuation sequels, especially when you're using the same character and the same story, is that you have to learn the skills again. like you're like, didn't I learn them in the first game? And then suddenly you have to learn all the basic skills again.
You have to learn how to throw your lightsaber all over again.
Yeah, exactly. But whatever, it's part of the game. That's
It's
what you
probably going to
do.
be something like, "Oh, my connection to the Force, it's not strong enough anymore.
Yeah,
I
something
have
like
to rebuild
I
it.
I forgot it.
Oh,
I was sleeping or whatever.
I
I
got
went
knocked
in a
on the head
coma.
real
Yeah,
hard.
yeah,
Damn you, BB-8."
yeah.
Or no,
Anyways,
what was it? It wasn't BB-8, but yeah.
yeah, the other
Anyways,
one.
it had
Um,
another weird name.
this is interesting. So there was a Bloomberg report that says that unnamed sources said that Sony had to slash their production of the PlayStation VR2 because pre-sales weren't as high. So supposedly they wanted to do 2 million units, and supposedly they had slashed the production units of how many they need because it didn't seem like that many people were pre-ordering
Mm.
due to the high price
Oh
tag. I mean, it's
man,
$550. That's on top of you
the
know,
PS5.
yeah,
I
top
mean,
of
which
what
is
you pay
needed.
for.
That's the sad. I think that's the reason that they're like this. Everyone wants the PSVR 2. Honestly, it is like it is obviously a step up from the Quest 2. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean in terms of hardware and whatnot, which is also why it's pricier. Like I really want a PSVR 2, but I'm not gonna go and buy a PS. Like I don't want to go and buy a PS. That's like what it's gonna work out to like $1,000 or like just for the full
Yeah,
setup. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
With
That's a
no
lot of
games, with
money to
no
drop,
games,
man.
with no
Yeah, with
games.
one really, really good game and then a bunch of old games. Yeah.
So Sony came out and denied this report, but their denial wasn't like a full denial. They basically said, no, 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 that's wrong. We're not slashing production. But they didn't say
Yeah.
anything about the pre-orders. They didn't say anything about, I think perhaps they're like, well, we'll just build them, as many as, we can, and then
Yeah.
we'll just have them available for people, as
Mm.
opposed to like slashing production. So it kind of feels like the report was pretty much true. It's just maybe that aspect was wrong. It's like, no, they're not slashing the product. They're still going to produce them, but their sales forecasts probably are not going to be as high as they wanted.
Yeah.
They
Well,
wanted to.
it's a huge entry barrier. It was the whole reason no one bought a Vive. You know what I mean? Because well, I mean, people bought it, but you had to have a fucking beefy PC to run it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a difficult entry point, and it's unfortunate because I've always preferred the PlayStation VR design.
Mm-hmm.
It's the whole reason that Oculus can't give you a crown because PlayStation got the patent for the crown
Mm-hmm.
design.
Mm-hmm.
So like you got to go off brand if you want a crown. Like I bought myself a crown strap a while ago. I think I forgot the brand.
Mm-hmm.
I completely, it was like Ebo or BB or who knows. But Bobo VR, I think it was Bobo VR. I don't know, but like it's so much better. Like the crown just feels
Mm-hmm.
so much freaking better, Dennis. It doesn't like stick to your face. By the way, I've been playing a lot of VR lately.
Nice. What have you been
During
playing?
the day when I have no electricity, dude. I've recently finished um Super Hot. Dude, that game, like I played a lot of that game, but
Mm-hmm.
I'd always restart it. That game gets difficult towards the end. That is an intense game, man. A lot of Beat Saber as
Mm-hmm.
well. No one playing Among Us. I replayed the Vader games. It's
Oh,
because I
nice.
think I finally got rid of that inertia, if that makes sense. Like I told you I used to get like motion sickness from
Yeah, yeah.
it. I think that's finally gone.
Yeah, when you
I think
play
I think
enough,
yeah.
when I was
Mm,
basically, I used to get that too. Like I played Half-Life Alex with Teleport, and then
yeah.
when we were developing the pickup basketball game, I was playing Locomotion so much because it's really hard to play the basketball game in Teleport, and like I was playing it
Mm,
so much every day, testing it. Like eventually, not that it's 100% gone because I still do get motion sickness sometimes, but it really has to be, the frame rate has to be crappy. Like, you know what I mean?
oh
Like I have to
yeah.
be there for a long time. Then maybe I'll get sick. But like the initial just like go walking around is fine for me now. But
Yeah, no.
that's
So
cool that
yeah.
it's cool that you're back or been playing a lot of VR.
Well, it's dude, it's perfect for when my power goes off,
Yeah.
like during the daytime when I got no, like it's my electricity goes out for 2.5 hours at a time. That's perfect for VR. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's great.
And the Quest is about
So
like
yeah,
2 hours of gameplay, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
exactly. Yeah.
So
I
that's
also
cool.
finally tried the Netflix. Netflix sucks in VR. I thought it was gonna be good, but it's so bad.
Well, the
Um,
problem is, it's a heavy thing to have on your head for, a long amount of
I
time.
just don't like the whole like I don't like not being able to see the whole thing. Like if I want to see, I have to like turn my head to see the whole. I don't like that. Anyways, another good thing about the PSVR 2, which well, just in also the first PSVR is the field of view. The field of
Mhm.
view is huge. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It has that little wrap around your head, which I love. It's more glasses friendly as well because you can adjust the it's a more adjustable. It's
So
unfortunate it's PlayStation only. I
yeah,
hope someone jailbreaks it or something.
so it's coming out on February 22nd, which is not that far away.
Yeah.
There's not that much hype
2
behind
weeks
it.
away. Yeah.
Obviously, the game that people want to play the most probably is Horizon Call of the Mountain, because a lot of the
Mm,
games you can play on other platforms in VR. A lot of them are just ports.
yeah.
I heard Gran Turismo 7 is actually really cool in VR, which I don't know. You might
That
get
makes
sick off
sense.
that. Might get sick
I
off
think like
that.
Microsoft Flight Simulator as well. Well, I mean that's not gonna be on
Yeah,
PlayStation,
yeah,
but probably is a great game to play in VR. I'd imagine.
yeah,
At least they got Beat Saber, and I can't believe they got Beat Saber.
yeah.
I cannot believe. I mean, they must have prayed. I guess either Facebook really needs the money. Sorry,
I think they
Meta.
really need.
It's
I think
Yeah,
they
I think
really need
Meta
the
really
money.
needs the money. You know what I mean?
I
Because
think they do.
that's their
They're
big IP.
they are
Yeah.
hemorrhaging money. So yeah, they're like, screw it, let's make some money. All right,
All
what
right.
else do we got here?
Halo
Oh,
news.
yes, Halo. There was a big reportedly a big shakeup going on. That, like, I guess they were working on a new what is that story for Halo.
The Halo
But
Infinite's so good. They could honestly just add on to it, in my opinion. You know what I mean? That game needs some DLC before they make a whole new Halo game. At
yeah,
least I feel
so
that way.
so apparently they're not going to make a DLC for any
Oh,
story
wow.
content. And
There's a lot of
also they
layoffs
are
as well.
there was a layoffs, but they're also going to move Halo to the Unreal Engine. So, a lot of
Okay.
remember a lot of the criticisms before the game even came out was about the graphics, and they had to spend like a
Yeah.
whole. That's why it got delayed. They spent a whole other year to beef. I mean, the graphics were still pretty good. My only concern was like the biomes were all very, very similar. It was very
Yeah.
samey. You either had the indoor whatever, like cold,
Metallic kind of
metallic
structures.
ship,
Yeah.
or you were outside with the green grass, and that
And the
was kind of
hexagons everywhere. Yeah.
yeah, and the mountain, Rocky Mountains, and that was it. You didn't really have much diversity in what you were
Mm.
looking at. But I thought the gameplay was great. I thought,
I was about to say, Dennis, I didn't notice any of that because I was so into the gameplay.
yeah,
I was
the
just
gameplay is fantastic.
shooting
That's the
down
thing.
fucking grunts, man.
I keep repeating this. Like, this game, if it was released in a different era, it wouldn't be the best Halo game of all time, but people would be pretty satisfied with it and pretty happy with
Oh,
it.
yeah.
It's
I mean,
because of the whole online free to play aspect of it, not having great season passes.
not having co-op on day one, like that.
Yes.
Dennis, the co-op is actually really good, and I feel
Mhm.
like they missed out so big by not having co-op on day one because it works really well. It's a really fun way to play the game.
Yeah. So a
I think
lot
it's
of
up
the
to 4 people. Yeah.
I think a lot of the criticisms are from the expectations of the modern gaming climate that we're in, and not
Mm.
necessarily about the game. The gameplay is great. Campaign, to me, like a B plus.
Yeah. I mean, in the
It's not
past, it was entertaining.
it's not the best campaign, but it's not the worst. And the gameplay is fantastic, and the online play. Remember back in the day, the online play used to be just it was just red versus blue. There was
That
no.
was it, man. Yeah.
You were not getting any custom this, custom that, or whatever decals. You were just straight up just playing. You wanted to play deathmatch, or you wanted to play team deathmatch, or you know what I mean? Like, that was Slayer, I guess. Halo World, Slayer and Team Slayer and all that stuff, and capture the flag and all that stuff. That's what you played, and you
Yeah.
played
Now
literally
that
just to have to have fun.
I think
So
I think Call of Duty and possibly Battlefield are the only two that I know of, the only two multiplayer games that are like that just make money from the sales instead of doing a battle pass or something like that. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Because now that I think about it, the games don't do that anymore with their multiplayer. It has to be some kind of battle pass. It has to have some kind of revenue on the side. You know what I mean? It needs to be a free to play,
Yeah, I
like
mean, that's
revenue based game with
But the problem
microtransactions
is,
and
is
stuff.
all these people are trying to make these. Everyone's trying to copy Fortnite's success, and very
Mhm.
few people are succeeding. Apex Legends succeeded.
Yeah.
There's a
Warzone
few.
succeeded. Yeah.
Yes, but it's a
There's
very
like
small
that's like
amount.
top three. That's the top three,
But
man.
there's
It's
all these games
like
that are like getting canceled, and then there's like these
oh yeah.
games just disappear. You know, we
And some of
lose
them
that.
are really good, Dennis. That's what bothers me. Is like you play some of these games and they're actually genuinely genius, but you're not going to pull people away from Fortnite or Apex or Warzone. You know what I mean? It's like Hyperscape was amazing. That game bombed within like 2 or 3 months. They gave up on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and what happens
Whereas,
with those games
yeah,
is that because they are all free to play, server based, online based, they're just gone for good.
hmm
That I forgot who made it. It might have still been. Was it Epic still that was making it? But they had like a Fortnite like game, but it was like wrestling. It was called like Rumbleverse or whatever.
oh yeah, Rumbleverse. I know
There's
It's on Epic. I played a bit of it. It was.
they're
I
shutting
literally
it
played
down.
it for yeah, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I played it for 5 minutes and I was like, this is meh at
Yeah.
best.
Yeah,
Like yeah.
I don't know how good the game was, but what I'm saying, like all these games are just gonna die off.
Oh
Um,
yeah, man.
in the
Multiverses,
in the
everything, all
VR
that stuff.
world, it was kind of big news, which is Echo VR, which was a free. I played a little bit, but I didn't really get into it like other people. But basically, it's like if you ever seen like Tron or Ender's Game.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a free to play game, and you kind of you can float around and you throw
Oh, like the thing
frisbees.
from It's literally from Ender's Game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I haven't tried it out yet, but it looks really
It
fun.
was a
You
free
kind
to
of
play game. Yeah,
zero gravity.
yeah.
Yeah, point based,
They're
kind of like
and it actually had a
yeah.
decent fan base, and people were playing it,
Oh
but
yeah.
they canceled it. So
No,
not canceled, but like they're taking down the server. So people are like,
that's
this
I'm never.
this
Oh, I've
this
always wanted to
August
try it.
this August is like the last time you know they're gonna shut down. So what I'm saying is a lot of these free to play games eventually just
Mm,
disappear into
yeah.
nothingness.
Before
And
we
so,
before we move on, I do want to mention to anybody playing VR, there's another really good free to play multiplayer game. It's called Gorilla Tag. Really addictive. You
I've
just use
heard
your
yeah
arms.
I heard of
Yeah,
it.
you're just a gorilla with arms and you're literally just playing tag. It's really
Yeah.
fun.
I mean, for me, one of those. It's not free to play; you have to pay for. But it's a battle royale game. Is Population One? That it
Oh
was
yeah,
so
Population One, yeah.
it was
Top
so
one.
good that Meta slash Facebook whatever they bought the company that made that game. You know, it was an indie game, and they bought it. They're like, just like Beat Saber. They're like, this game's too popular. It's too good. We gotta get
You
know
gotta
make
get
sure
it, yeah.
yeah. But anyways, hopefully that never goes away either. So. Yeah, it's just speaking back to Halo. Yeah, so basically, a lot of rumors were going around that Halo was going to get taken away from 343, but that doesn't seem to be the case. They're still going to have 343 working on it. They are moving from the Slip Space engine to Unreal, which, you know, Unreal obviously graphically, especially with Unreal 5, is just amazing, and so they kind of want to get that graphic fidelity. Hopefully, they don't lose the secret sauce of how the gameplay is in
Yeah.
Halo. Hopefully they can convert that over. Um,
Well, I
but
mean,
yeah,
like Phil Spencer said, like the heart and soul of Halo is 343. And I think as long as they have that, they'll nail it, you know what I mean?
well, I mean, the real heart and soul was
As long as
Bungie, but you know,
True, fair. I mean, I got into Halo late though.
yeah,
Like, I think the first Halo I ever played was Halo 4.
okay.
Yeah, it was the first one I ever played.
My favorite is Halo
Man,
3, but like 1,
I-
2, 3,
yeah.
great. I mean, 4, I don't hate.
I heard,
A lot of people hate
heard,
on 4 and 5, but I
yeah,
still like them.
I heard Halo 3 ODST is like one of the best. One of
ODST
the
is
best.
great, but you're
Yeah,
not Master Chief. You're you know you're
yeah, you're some
OD.
rookie. Yeah,
Yeah. There's a lot of cool like voice cameos in there, like Nathan
yeah.
Fillion's in there and everything.
I've heard. Oh wow, yeah, I heard good things about that game though. Yeah.
It's cool. And then Reach, Bungie did as well. So
Reach,
1, 2,
yeah.
3, Reach and ODST were all Bungie made. They're all good, and
Mm.
you know, like I said, 4 and Infinite, where I think we're Infinite, I thought was better than 4, but yeah, you know, I'm not as down on 343 like everyone else is. Yes,
Mm.
the free to play Infinite multiplayer online game could have been handled better. The support could be better. You know, more content could be better. Sure, but when it comes to core gameplay, I'm fine. Like I said, I do want to see a diversity in locations and in areas and stuff like that, but I'm not, you know, the gameplay was, you know, what kept me
Yeah.
playing. It's what always
Look,
has
it's not
been
like
the best thing
it's not
about
like
Halo.
Halo's going. It's not like Halo's going anywhere either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're always gonna have Halo. It's too big of an IP to die out.
What's interesting too, I don't know if you saw this. A side note is that Halo is the most watched Paramount Plus show.
Oh wow, that says a lot because
It's not great, but
yeah, it's not great, man. I went into that with high hopes, and then there were so many
yeah,
scenes that I was like, "This is not Master Chief. He
yeah.
would not say this or talk this way." Yeah, like I
So
said, the
people,
physics was off. Yeah, a
so
lot.
people are looking at like Last of Us and going like, okay, that's how you do a video game adaptation, where it's like stays
Mm,
true. It's not, obviously a lot of the beats are the same, characters are very similar. There is some slight differences, but they kept true to it, and I think people wanted to see something like that with
yeah.
Halo, and they
It is easier though with something like The Last of Us. You know what I mean?
yes, not many
Like you can get characters,
characters,
very dark,
locations.
like
Yeah,
yeah, and I mean like literally dark, like
yeah,
actually like dark. You know what I mean? Like lighting wise, like DC Universe dark. You
yeah,
know, it's So I think you can get away with it, like not get away with a lot, but it's easier to film that. Less CGI is needed. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because they're not going to be constantly shoving like zombies in your face. It's
yeah,
gonna be more about people. Like when they get into part two, it's probably going to be more affordable technically for them
yeah.
because it's going to be a lot of just like dialogue and stuff. But it's going to be great. Like that's the one thing that makes sense. You take something like off the top of my head, like let's what was a good game that came out recently? It's like okay, High on Life, I guess could work as a TV
Mm,
show, but most games don't. Like they wouldn't translate over to TV. They'd be way
mm,
too difficult to film, or like they wouldn't be able to. There's too much CGI involved and things like
mm,
that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But yeah, The Last of Us is fantastic so far. I've only seen the first episode, but God, it's
Yeah,
good, man.
yeah. Keep
Production, the
watching.
production quality,
Yeah,
production quality is mind blowing. You know,
keep
I
watching, and
really
then
hope.
we'll talk more.
Yeah, I really hope the Fallout show does as good.
I hope so.
Really
I
hope
mean,
so.
it's the Westworld
Direct,
showrunners,
yeah,
so
producers and
yeah.
showrunners, yeah.
Walton Goggins, who I love, is going to be in it. So it seems like hopefully,
There's a show coming up that I almost thought was Fallout, but it's like someone it's set the same kind of thing, like
mhm,
1950s high technology, and then it's like relocating to Mars or something. It looked very much like Fallout, but I think it's on Apple TV. It's either on Apple or on HBO. I remember seeing that. It was eerily similar. You know what I mean?
mhm.
But I guess it's more like a horror or something like that, or like it's supposed to be scary. I'm not too sure. Didn't get really understand what they were doing with the trailer, but it looked interesting. It was like 1950s. We're going to Mars. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like it had that aesthetic to it that's similar. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I
there's
guess
like
it's just
some.
not.
I
Yeah.
think there's like a movie like called Fallout or whatever.
Oh yeah.
There's a movie coming out or whatever. It's called Fallout. Set up. Uh. All right. Let's move on. So Xbox and
Showcase.
yeah
Yeah.
had their
Well,
developer direct during
developer direct. That was it. Yeah.
2023.
It was fun. Short but fun. You know.
Yeah.
I will say like that we saw a lot more Redfall. It's looking way darker than I was thinking it was gonna be. You know, like once again in terms of like actual like physical lighting and whatnot, it's looking darker than what I was expecting
Mhm.
it to be. It's looking way more action packed. The more and more we see of it, it's like looking way more action packed. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I am looking forward to that, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
a good co-op vampire shooter, man, or just I love good co-op games. You know what I mean? That's what gaming's for. You know what I mean? If you don't have anybody, excuse me, let me slow that down. If you don't have anybody to play with online,
Mhm.
Discord. Discord's amazing for like joining new groups and joining people and hopping in on games together. You know?
Yeah, it's coming out on May 2nd, which is like I said, I'm fine with these release dates with trying to catch up with
Mm,
all of game. I thought, I was
ooh.
gonna have a lot
That's
more time.
close to the Legend of Zelda game actually in terms
Oh,
of release dates. But two very different fan bases, or you know what I mean? Two very different types of gamers are going to be playing that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I don't think they'll cross correlate. I was the Minecraft Legends thing. So I actually was kind of low key looking forward to this game, and
Mhm.
now that I know what the game is, because like you can actually see what the game is, I don't think
Mhm.
I'm a fan of it.
Mhm.
Like like the whole mob control thing. I've never been a fan of games like that where you kind of control mobs or you have like a group of people with you. Like Pikmin was a good example. You know what I mean? It's like uh, almost like a high scale version of Lemmings. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So it's not really my cup of tea. I thought it was going to be more like a open action adventure world game, like a
Mhm.
little baby Skyrim or something, but
Mhm.
Minecraft. You know what I mean? Um, because they nailed Minecraft Dungeons, which is basically like baby Diablo, you know. So yeah, I don't know. It's looking like I don't know. I'll try it out probably, but I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about the gameplay. It's to be fair, I haven't played it yet. It's just
Mhm.
I'm not one of those. I don't like those. Even Ken. You remember Kenya? I think it was or Kena and the
Yeah, yeah,
Wild
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Spirits. Yeah, I didn't. It was the same thing because you're kind of mob controlling. You got these little dudes working for you. I don't know. I don't like that kind of mechanics and gameplay. But yeah.
Oh, that was whatchamacallit, that Halo, one of the co-founders or co-creators of Halo, he made that one game. Why am I blanking on it? But basically it was like a third person, first person thing, and you would control like
Oh, Extinction or something like that.
I
It
forgot
was.
the
I
name
don't
of
think it
it.
was Extinction, but something. Yeah, that looked interesting, and
But it was
yeah,
just
it was
so yeah,
not well received. It just didn't
yeah,
vibe with people. Yeah,
yeah,
that game
yeah,
died real quick.
yeah.
We got to see Forza, which it's
Yes.
crazy because I mean, obviously Horizon. It feels like it just came out, but it has been what like a year and a half or more.
Yes, it came out in 20, not this past 2021. It came out the same time Halo Infinite came
End of
out, like
yeah, like
right
end
before.
of 2021 around
And
there.
I
Yeah,
was surprisingly really into it, and not being
yeah,
a
it's a
racing
great game,
fan.
man.
I don't think I'm going to be into Forza Motorsports, though.
It's it's the more serious one. Like this one's the one that's closer to Gran Turismo. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and like the thing about Horizon I loved was like going around and
Freedom,
exploring.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mexico and going to different areas and all that stuff, and having little houses and base camps. And
Essentially open world gameplay. You know what I mean?
yes, where this is like, okay, these are the tracks. I mean, I might download just to try it because it's going to be on Game Pass. So that's the beauty of Game
Yeah.
Pass. I don't have to invest anything other than my time to try it out. So I may download it, play a little, but I'm just guessing I'm probably not going to be that into it like I was with
This is
Forza
going to be for
Horizon.
the rate. Yeah, this is going to be for the racing sim
Yeah,
fans. You know what I mean? The
yeah,
people who have actually got the steering wheel at their desk right now. This is the game for them. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Um, it's gonna be. I know it's gonna be an amazing game. It's just not gonna be my cup of
yeah,
tea. Like Horizon is for everybody. You can play that game with a controller, or you can change the. You can play the game. You can make the game difficult for you or easy for you, so anybody can really play it. But with Forza Motorsport, it's at least from what I know, it's a bit more trickier. You know what I mean? You gotta like know
yeah,
when to brake, know when to turn in.
yeah. I mean, the
Like
graphics look
Formula One, yeah,
fantastic.
like Formula One type racing is always tricky, you know.
They
But the
don't have
graphics
a
looks
they don't have a
beautiful,
release
look
date, but
crisp.
it's 2023. I don't have much to say about the Elder Scrolls Online stuff.
20 locations
I
to
don't
race at.
play it. I don't really play it.
Yeah.
But the thing I wanted to talk about, and the one thing I was like, dude,
Yeah.
you've got to play it. I
Yeah,
know
you were
you.
right, Dennis. I do like it. Yeah.
So,
I'm vibing with it pretty hard.
Hi-Fi Rush, which is this game from Tango Works, which it was also owned or with Bethesda and ZeniMax.
Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who came over in that
Because
deal.
I noticed a lot of Japanese developers worked on this. And then I
Yeah.
was like, oh, they did go dude, Ghostwire Tokyo was such a fun game. It was just short. But that
Mm.
was a great game.
So this game got shadow dropped. Basically, no one knew about it, and they just dropped it right when they did the developer direct, and now it's like a viral hit. Like it's not like a AAA huge like God of War title, but like man, especially because it's on Game Pass, people are playing the hell out of this game and,
Oh
and
yeah,
talking
man.
about. It's got a great anime look to it. It's a addictive gameplay. You're basically it's weird. It's like this rhythm-based game, but also,
I didn't think it was gonna work, Dennis, because I was like, I like rhythm-based games, but it's
uh-huh.
like I thought my brain couldn't handle it because it's like, oh, now I've got to walk around, like time my attacks and still dodge enemies, and I just thought it was gonna be too much. But they keep everything at 4-4 timing, so it's just do do do
Mhm.
do do, and as long as you bop your head, you can just slam enemies, you can dodge on time. It's just I love it, man. Like I don't think a single person can play that game and not like bop their head
Mhm.
on like the perfect rhythm that you have to hit it on. It's actually so satisfying. And the entire world around you like bounces at like objects like move and shake at the
Mhm.
same at like different tempos and everything. It's fun. I haven't got like the story looks promising as well. You know what I mean? I thought the story was like from the trailer, from
Mhm.
the direct, I thought it was gonna be a little cheesy, you know what I mean? But so far I kinda like it, you know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
enjoying it. I think the voice actor is the guy who voiced Titus in Final Fantasy X, who's
Mm.
one of my I don't know his name, but one of my favorite voice actors. I just know his voice.
Um, what's interesting too is like, yeah, the when I talk about the anime style, like the first thing I thought was Jet Set Radio. When I saw I was
Yeah,
like, oh
the
man,
style of, dude, that's so true. It was very
yeah,
Jet Set Radio. The
yeah,
aesthetic, yeah.
yeah. So apparently, like, this is a game that no one heard about, but because it's so good and so catchy, like people are talking about it and playing it and having a blast with it.
I think the game could actually do really well on the Switch as well if they were able to get it there. I think it could work quite well on the
hmm
Switch.
I think
It's
so.
not too resource heavy, and even like I played around with the settings and obviously got the settings maxed out for me to play it. But even on like medium graphics to low graphics, the game still looks good because of the way the whole cell shade, not cell shading, but you know what I mean, like the very cartoony kind of vibe it has. It works. I think it could work quite well on Nintendo Switch. I hope they can get it there. They could make some extra money. It's fun though, man. Yeah. If anybody has Game Pass, try it out. I'm assuming
Yeah,
it's also on the console probably.
yeah. What's
Yeah.
interesting
Yep. Yeah.
is
You have to play
it
with you have to play with the gamepad. Sorry. Yeah. You got to play with the gamepad.
what's interesting is the reason that they were able to shadow drop this was one. There was, I guess IGN did an interview with the developers. They said that even within Bethesda, the game became like a kind of a viral hit internally. That people were just like addicted to playing it,
Oh,
and
nice.
because of Game Pass, they were able to shadow drop it because like they said it was hard to shadow drop something where um they people would have to pay money to play it. Now it's like, okay, they can play it and try it out on Game Pass for free that they're already paying for, and that the word of mouth would spread, and that it would eventually, if you don't have Game Pass, might be interested. You might pay the money to buy it on Steam or buy it separately as standalone.
Yeah.
If you, I don't know why you don't have Game Pass, but if you happen not to, that you would hear good word of mouth and you decide to play the game. So, anyways, I'm having fun with it. I think I've played like a
Oh
good
yeah.
hour and a half.
I've played
I
about half an hour so far. I think I'm at the end because like, well, you don't have to like. I'm at the part where it's like you don't have to do these tutorials, but there's these little stages you can walk up to do like the extra tutorials for
yes,
the
yeah,
end. So I was like on the last couple of combos, like the combo switching combos.
yeah.
There was a glitch there where like I couldn't leave because it
Mhm,
said I missed the timing, and then
mhm.
it wouldn't let me redo it. It was just stuck there, so I had to like close
Uh,
the game. But other than that, man, I was having loads of fun with
yeah,
that.
wait
Like,
till you fight the first
yeah,
boss. I had a lot of fun fighting the first boss.
yeah.
So
I don't think I did fight something big, but I think that was just like the tutorial boss, maybe. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
You'll know when he comes out because he's huge.
Is it a robot? Is it a
Is
big ass robot?
yeah, but it's not like a big ass robot in a little
Little fighting area.
square. No, no, it's like a
Yeah. Okay.
big
Not that. Okay.
platform. It's a big platform, and he's huge.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
He's like Pacific Rim huge.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, I definitely haven't fought him yet, but
yeah,
the game's been fun so far. Yeah.
yeah. I can't wait to hear more after you play some more.
Mm.
Also released was the Dead Space remake, which also got rave reviews from everyone, basically saying this is how you remake
Oh.
a game.
Oh,
You
we gotta talk about how desperate and sad this is.
what?
From the Xbox Direct is that you can play old previous Elder Scrolls chapters for free.
Uh,
It's sad because it's not a bad MMO. Like I played it when it first came out. It was I personally I like Final Fantasy 14. That's my MMO of choice. I couldn't get the I tried WoW. I just couldn't get the mechanics of it, the way moving around. I couldn't get behind it. Elder Scrolls is actually pretty fun. It's not that bad. Like so, I mean, look, all the previous chapters are free. You guys may as well try it out. You know what I mean? It's free MMO. Might steal your life away, but yeah. But it
that's
also
why I
just
don't
goes to
play it.
show.
That's why I don't play
Yeah.
MMOs because I got so addicted to me like one of the OG MMOs, which was Fantasy Star Online back on the Sega
Yeah.
Dreamcast, and that thing had like 5 levels, and I played the crap out of that game. I just kept playing it over and over and over again, and I was like, okay, I can't. And it
Yeah.
didn't even have voice chat. It was like literally you were typing to people. Like I bought the keyboard. I bought the Dreamcast keyboard just so I could like type to people
Oh, that's cool.
in there. So
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I can't. That's why I didn't play World of Warcraft. Why I didn't play
Mm.
like what was the other big one? Why am I
Well,
blanking on it?
I mean, Guild Wars.
There was
Guild
just a
Wars?
ton.
I don't.
Oh
Guild
no,
Wars was the
Star
other
Wars
real big
Old
one.
Republic. Star Wars Old
Oh, that
Republic.
was it. Yeah, I played a bit of that. I like that. Apparently, the servers are still going strong for that. I believe. Like it has a very tight fan base.
Yeah.
I was watching like a lore video about it. But yeah, so it just goes to show like how, I mean, is they need the money. Like the game must not be selling well for them to make all basically the entire game's free except for the newest like chapter
Hmm.
of the MMO. Like they must be needing the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is sad. It's a good game.
Yeah.
Not for me, but it's a good game. You know, time sink like you said. All right, Dead Space review.
Yeah, so basically, people are raving about saying this is how a remake should be done. One, you get the
Mm,
enhancements to the graphics, but then there are other kind of um, not just visual upgrades, but like gameplay enhancements that don't like
yeah.
make the game like supremely different, but they just quality of life stuff.
Quality of life stuff, yeah.
Hmm.
It's like when they remake a game and they add sliding that wasn't there before, you know what I mean? It's like just little things that like make the game a bit better that we're now as gamers are used to. So yeah.
Hmm.
It's dude, it's a world of difference from the Callisto protocol. Like, man,
Yeah,
that did not get good reviews, was not well received. Meanwhile, I
no,
knew Dead Space was going to slap hard
yeah,
this game is going to be perfect, man.
yeah,
I hope that they do a Dead Space 2. That was my favorite one because that's when they
yeah.
had co-op.
Yeah, so a lot of good reviews for that. It is a game that I probably will get eventually, but not right now, just because of all the games I still need to catch up on, and then
Yeah.
got Hogwarts coming out, soon. Well, for you, you can play it already, but for me, like
Yeah,
I gotta,
if I had electricity after this, I would play it now.
yeah,
But my power
uh,
goes out in like half an hour.
yeah. All right. What else is there?
We got the day before.
The day before, yeah. Yeah, the day before.
I feel like this is I'm drawing a blank here. I don't have I ever heard of this? What is this the day before?
Yeah, it's you haven't heard about this? The whole drama
I
about it?
mean I mean I no, like I'm looking through this video and it doesn't I don't think I've heard of this game. Oh, this looks intense though.
Yeah.
Is it as I hope those aren't people they're just mowing down. Oh, I-
So
this
oh, I'm
looks
sorry.
great though with RTX on. Sorry, I was just gonna say that looks fun. It
So
looks great with
so
RTX
okay,
on.
so I'm surprised you haven't heard about this. So there's a whole drama thing going on with this game. So basically, uh, it's a game that's like the number one or number two most wish listed game on Steam after it's
Oh
revealed. So
wow.
basically, it's supposed to be a post-apocalyptic, um, what's it like, multi-online player game, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like it's like a four
So
player.
it's supposed to be like
Yeah.
Division meets, I don't know, The
It's
Last
kind of
of
like
Us,
Division
Walking
meets Last of
Dead,
Us. Yeah.
yeah, that
Yeah.
type of thing. And so had released this
It looks pretty good.
trailer a long time ago, so showing off the graphics. So what you're seeing right here is something they
Official
released.
4K RTX on.
Yes. So
Yeah.
the problem is that it was supposed to be released on March 1st of this year,
Okay.
and no one had seen any gameplay footage of it. They saw this, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, "Wow, this looks great. This looks fantastic." They're all in on it. And then it came out. They're like, "Oh, okay. We have to delay the game." Well, first of all, no. First, it like got delisted off of Steam, and people were like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then second, then they were saying, "Oh, we have to delay the game because we have a trademark issue. Someone else had trademarked this name before the day before, and like we have to like do all the stuff, so we're gonna delay it to November of this year, November 10th." And then people are like, "What the
Yeah.
hell's
Well,
going on
they've
here?"
yeah they've locked in on that. Like no matter what changes happen.
But they're going like everyone's like, "What the hell's going on? What does this trademark thing
I
have
mean,
to do with
even
with
the
developing the
statement
game?"
here, like this statement, like is so vague. We plan to move
Yeah.
the game's release before the plan to announce it with publisher Mytona in a 10-minute gameplay video, and then you all know what happened. No, we don't. We don't know what happened. We all know what happened. Oh, that's so. I hate it when people say that. Oh man. Okay. That's interesting. So, hmm.
Yeah, so basically everyone's like, this game is not real. I
Steam
mean,
blocked their game
every
page. Game page. What the? Steam blocked their game page at the request of a private individual. Oh, because of the takedown, because of the similar name. So basically got a takedown on Steam.
yeah. So, but everyone's not really totally buying this story, and then so people are like, this game's not real, like
Yeah.
whatever.
Or if there's a delay, just say there's a delay.
Yeah.
Own it.
So because of this, and people are like, just they were getting like killed online. Like, there's all these YouTube videos like the day before is a scam, it's not a real game, blah 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 blah. And then I think it was late last week they released gameplay footage. Like, here, I don't know, I don't think I sent you that link, but let me see if I can find it. If you here, let me.
Oh, I got it here. Exclusive new gameplay trailer.
And it's not good. It's not good. It's a 10-minute.
This is a real person here.
And so it's like literally just like a girl walking around with a gun, and it looks like a game, but it looks. I'll be honest with you, I think whatever they're showing right now is something that was put together
Last minute.
Yes, like, I don't know.
This kind of looks like
A month ago.
this kind of looks like GTA 5, but on the PS3 just before, because GTA 5 came out on the PS3 just before the PS4 came out, and then they released the PS4 version. It kind of looks like that. Like
Yeah.
it looks like on the, like higher end PS3 graphics. At least that's the video I'm seeing right now. Someone running through a super shiny mall.
Yeah. So they had shown like a gameplay trailer like a year.
I must be something different from you because this doesn't look. That actually looks pretty good. What I'm seeing.
Yeah. So this was the one you're looking at is from 2021.
Yeah,
right?
the 7.5 minute one.
And it looks good.
Okay. Yeah.
But if you look at the one that was recently released, it doesn't look that great. Like, this one has like shadows and lighting or whatever. But then if you look at the one,
it's like an open world. It's an MMO as well. Okay. Okay.
So,
yeah.
Here we go. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this. But then compare what you just saw. So that's the one that people got excited for. Now here, let me show you
unpaid workers last year, Dennis. They didn't pay their workers last year.
Yeah.
They had to defend their use of unpaid workers. That's heavy.
So here, let me
That
send
was in June
this.
of last year. So a lot of controversy around this. That's heavy, dude. I mean, it sucks because, like I said, what I saw, if they were gonna deliver on what I saw, it looks freaking amazing.
Well, yeah, that's what everyone was like. Oh man, that's why it got Steam listed, wish listed so much. But if take a look at this game, and then you will see the big difference. It doesn't even look like the same game. Just watch it and skim through it.
I am.
Does that look like the same game? That does not look like the same game.
I don't want to be rude, but I literally think they spent more time on this chick's ass than anything else. Like,
people were
that
commenting
put way
on
too
that.
much. They put way too much effort into that compared to the rest of the world.
Yes. So people are like, okay, whatever you showed us before was more of like a tech demo, not the actual game.
Yeah.
And
like this doesn't look too bad either, but it's worlds apart from what they first showed.
Yes.
You know?
And there's nothing in it. Obviously, you can't watch the whole 10 minutes, but if you watch it, it's just...
There's nothing there.
She's just walking around.
Just them walking through a city,
walking around. That's all it is. Walking around and, like, shooting... Like, there's, like, 3 zombies. It's like a tech demo.
Yeah,
so,
no, that's lame.
So people, even though this came out, people are still not buying what they're selling.
Yeah, fair enough. All right.
So anyways...
Yeah, well, I still got electricity. Let's finish this up real quick.
All right. Marvel's Avengers, it got it's ending. There's no more new stuff. Apparently, they did not finish whatever storyline they had coming out, but they're ending active
What was
development.
their last release? Was their last release
I think it was the Black Panther. I think it was the Black Panther stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Man, I enjoyed the story mode of that game. The beginning was boring. Like not the beginning. The middle sucked because you were basically doing the it was like the multiplayer missions, but in the main campaign. I liked the story of the campaign.
Yeah,
but man,
I enjoyed the one
so much.
I enjoyed the single player game, but it was just not,
the multiplayer was ass, dude.
Yeah,
the multiplayer was just ass. It was
didn't
boring.
It was very boring. Atomic Heart official gameplay overview trailer. This game is coming out on February 21st on
Yeah.
Game Pass. Looks really good. Looks like BioShock meets Fallout. The only concern I have is I don't know how good the story is going to be,
Mm.
it's a cool world, but I don't know. It's weird too. The characters, it's set in the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
The characters don't have Russian accents. I don't know why.
Oh, that's funny.
It's very strange.
Hopefully they explain that, or maybe just we gotta believe it.
Yeah. But it looks good, and like I said, this is the perfect type of Game Pass game, right? It's a game where I was interested in it. I wasn't sure if I was going to buy it or not, but now I don't have to decide. Now I can play it and then see how good it is, So to me, this is the perfect type of Game Pass game where it's like, it's not a AAA title that I was going to buy 100% for sure. It's a game that's, all right, cool. I want to play it, and now I don't have to buy it and take that chance.
It kind of has that feel. Like the first time we heard about this, we did get kind of Fallout vibes from it, but it's clear that they're not focusing much on the RPG aspect of this, because it's like the feeling I'm getting from this is like if Fallout spent all their time and effort on gameplay, on gun mechanics, on the combat mechanics only, and like less time on the RPG and stuff like that, because it kind of has that like world, you know what I mean? But Soviet, of course. But man, the combat looks sick, dude. It looks so much fun.
All right, I think that's all I have. What do you have anything? Any news?
I'm blanking. There was a small bit of, kind of gaming related, but it is. So Squanch Games. I don't know if you heard about what happened to Justin Roiland recently.
Yes.
So he had to. I mean, for those who don't know, you can look into that. He's still fighting the allegations, or we don't really know the full story of what's happening. But he had to step down from voicing Rick and Morty. And he had to step down from voicing Solar Opposites, because that's his other show. And he had to obviously step down from Squanch Games, which he is a creator of, or like founding creator of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sure he's obviously still getting money from High on Life and all that, and a lot of these companies he's a part of. He just has to step down from the limelight, if you will, at least until they can clear up the accusations, if they're false or if they're true. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate. That was the last bit of news I had. So he had to leave Squanch Games. Also, I can't help it, but man, I'm upset that they used AI voice for all the NPCs. It makes sense though. It's a lot
all
easier.
The NPCs?
Not all of them. Like the ones that are just kind of lying around.
Okay, the ones just sitting around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they used a lot of AI voice for a lot of their NPCs, which, if it works, it works. It just, as someone who makes money from that line of work, it just sucks when that happens.
Yeah. I did finally finish the game. It's cool. I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny, and it's one of those games where, like Trover Saves the Universe, like, you can only get so much of it, and it's a good thing that it's not that long. Just like Trover wasn't that long. It's like, okay, you kind of get your fill of it, and that's it. And you enjoyed your time, and then
amount. Yeah.
And
it's actually like the game can be challenging. Like I played it on like just normal mode, but you can up that. If you up that the difficulty, that game's actually pretty.
The bosses
tricky,
were hard. It's weird. The regular game was not that bad, but like the bosses were actually much more difficult.
For me, it was the opposite.
Really?
To be honest, yeah.
For me, killing all those people were fine.
At least like on the hard mode, those like hordes of enemies, it's tricky. Like when you get those hordes of enemies, like, and you got to dodge all those bullets and stuff. That gets a bit much. At least the boss fights, like, they have like a pattern that you can follow, kind of. You know what I mean? I love all the secrets of the boss fights though. Like, the octopus guy.
Yeah.
So if you listen closely to what he says while you're helping him through those puzzles, you can actually catch him out on that he's lying about his kids and stuff. Like you can follow. He's like after a while you're like, wait, hold on, he's contradicting himself. And then when you like realize it, you can actually kill him before the time.
Wow. I didn't know
But the
that.
thing is, you still the boss fight still happens. He's just dead inside of the suit, and the suit fights instead, which is hilarious. And it's like a secret boss fight technically.
Interesting.
Like that was funny, man. Yeah, like that. I like there's little changes in the game's cool. Like I still haven't finished the game yet, but you kill 9 Torg, and you can choose to spare the other Torg. You know what I mean? Or you can kill him right there. I just killed him right there, and then my gun was like, I guess that was the secret boss technically, or
Yeah.
you know. No, I
Uh,
like it. The game was fun, man. Yeah, and I agree. It was the perfect amount. Too long, and it would have been like a drag to finish. You know.
yeah. Yeah. So finally finished that. It was cool. That also was a good Game Pass game where it's like, all right, I didn't have to spend
Mhm.
money on it. All right. What else is going on? I guess that's it, right?
Yeah,
For
that's about it for now. Yeah.
cool. I guess before we go, I know. You kind of took a break for mental health reasons. Now you're kind of getting back into gaming. You're playing Hi-Fi Rush. I guess you're gonna start playing Hogwarts Legacy
Literally
tomorrow.
tomorrow morning. You know, Dennis, if I have time, I want to go to a costume store and get myself a little wizard outfit, and then I'll record the first hour
Nice,
of gameplay for us or something.
nice. I think it's 72 gigs
Yeah, it is.
download
Well,
for PC.
mine was about 74.5 or something.
Hmm.
So around there, just under 75 gigs. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
I
think
thank
that's
God that's the size of it. I thought that was the extract size. I was like, fuck, is it gonna double? Because sometimes when you download games, it's like the extract. It's like the what's the condensed version? It's
yeah,
condensed. You know what I mean? And then yeah. So I was like, is it gonna be 150 gigs? What is this? But it was
yeah.
yeah, it was just 75 gigs.
All right, cool. Thanks for everyone who's listening or watching. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel, youtube.com/Revog. We have our weekly podcast that's on Spotify and Anchor.fm. You can find me on Twitter at ThinkHero, Instagram, Dennis.tzng. Josh, where can people find you?
You guys can find me on Twitch at It's Thespis or lowercase. There should be a link in the description below. Once I get to 100 followers, I will come back to streaming either weekly or daily. I'll figure it out. And you guys can find me in the Revog Discord channel. I'm always down to talk. I
Yeah,
love talking to you guys. You know, talking about video games or even movies and TV shows. That stuff's
yeah.
fun. You know what I mean?
Especially The Last of Us. Talk about The
Mm,
Last of Us.
hell yeah. We're probably going to shoot a video for that soon as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
So look out for that.
yeah. Well, supposedly, I had to push back so the music video I directed is done, but my whatchamacallit, my or the artist wanted to push it back because he was releasing another music video before, so it got pushed back
Well,
a couple.
okay.
So I think we're gonna release it in a couple
That
weeks.
makes sense.
So
That makes sense though. Yeah.
yeah,
That's awesome, man. I can't wait to see it.
cool. And then I got to work on my short film that I'm working on as well.
Yeah.
So all right,
Hell
cool.
yeah, man. Yeah.
So
All
until
right.
next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Later.